On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder and I are joined by a couple of guests. Who? Wait and find out. But trust me, it's going to be good. We're going to have a nice, long conversation about video games. So, yeah, if you're into video games and what we've been playing and what we've been up to, this is going to be a great episode for you as we dive into what we've been playing currently and even talk about some of the games we played in the past. It's going to be a great show. You're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay?
Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast spicy enough to cause you to sweat your sins out. I'm your host, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
The first question I have is, what kind of food were you eating to come up with that line?
It was actually a video on making Bloody Marys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're ripping off people's work.
It was more like, that's a really good line and a really great way to open a podcast. So I tweaked it. I tweaked it to fit our situation.
Definitely ripping off and improving.
Yeah, it's as we teachers say, when it comes to lesson plans, you should beg, borrow, and liberate.
Don't know if it's going to go anywhere with the liberation, though, because nobody sees our work.
Well, that's all the more reason why I can, if anything, maybe we'll generate a little, internet controversy of our own, Triple B rips off. I'm not going to say who, because, the people would know where I got that from. So, yeah. Hey, those of you who do watch the show, see if you can find my source for that line. And besides, it's not the first time I've pulled lines. I mean, we've done lines from songs. We've done other things of inspiration. So this is nothing new. Nothing new.
You do have a point there. I mean, we're just another podcast on the internet. Man, it's good to be bland. How are you doing?
It's been a week. I know I said it. For those who play the drinking game, have to self-invent drinking game.
Or three, because we haven't had anything to drink yet, and we're behind. So that means that whoever's watching this, listening, must have 3 drinks because you said the thing, and they need to have a drink for us.
And with that, Kidder, we should get to everybody's favorite segment that they've all been waiting for us to get to. And that is
plugs.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hit them strong and hard and
beerbluesbs.com. That's our website. First of all, beerbluesbs.com. Make sure you like us here, subscribe to us for free, and please share if you care, because we know sharing is caring, and share for us because we care about you. It's that simple. Other than that, you can visit us at our other donation station on streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. You can subscribe maybe $1 a month, maybe $2 a month. That would be all right. Or just drop us a little chunk of change, maybe $5, $5, maybe $3.50.
I need about $3.50.
Could be something to help us. Because let's be honest, we need help. A lot of help. And money will help because it'll pay the bills every month. So help us help you. That'd be awesome. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. You can also visit the merch stores on both of those sites, the Streamlabs site and the beerbluesbs.com site. Which reminds me, we have to figure out how to get another link on our website for the Streamlabs thing, so then we can Streamlabs and merch store and do all the donation and all that and make it convenient for people.
I'll talk to the webmaster.
Just add it onto the list.
You'll get there probably the next 6 to 8 months.
I love it. Love it. I feel that. I feel that. The feeling is growing within inside me. Yes. Let's see. So our merch, it's available 2 stores, twice the fun, twice the excitement, and all of the sweet threads. You know, like this triple B metal sign right there, perhaps. Triple B pint glass. This one with having the hops doing the thing. There's others as well. beerbluesbs.com, and of course, like I said, streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs, and you can also hit /merch after that if you want to go directly to the merch store, as it were. Aside from that, we're all on all of the audio platforms. We're on YouTube, so please, if you have an audio podcast or music service, search for Beer Blues NBS. And while you're out there, of course, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Again, smash that sub button, hit the subs. Got to help us get in front of the peoples and do the things. So we'd appreciate that. Again, all over the place. Just search for Beer Blues and BS. And I'm maybe missing a couple of the cheap plugs, but I'm getting thirsty as well. And it seems as though somebody has bellied up to the bar and helped themselves to a beverage already.
I was going to say, everybody probably thought we were doing the cheap plugs early as like some sort of joke, but really it was a stall tactic, you know, for some actual talent to get on this show. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Rudeboy Kyle. How's it going?
Cheers, my mans. How are you guys?
I was also hoping that people wouldn't skip that and like go to the end, but skip that, and then they'd actually like us or subscribe to us.
Give it a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up if you have.
Give it 3 thumbs up, please.
That's right.
Each account counts.
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right. Just taking it easy on the rare weekend. I don't have overtime at work, so glad to join you guys. How are you?
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
you'll have to go back earlier in the video to watch that.
Oh, okay.
We're at this point, we're beating the horse.
Rewind.
So now that we got everybody, that brings us to everybody's favorite segment, and this time it's not a trap. That's right, it's What's on Tap. Rude Boy Kyle, you're already drinking. What's on tap for you this evening?
Well, I have a Bullet bourbon, and it is ensconced in a maple.
Hold on. Ensconced. Can we? I need Howard the ref to come in. Can we use that word on this show? Is that too classy of a word for this show on this date at this time and this airing whenever you who hopefully clicked on this video on purpose to watch this? Is this?
Well,
I'm trying to stall for you, man.
If you guys would like, I can certainly take it down a notch because it is a maple flavored old fashioned mix that it's mixed with. But well, if we're gonna go down that path, Mark, I'll break out the Busch Light for the next drink. So round 2 will be Busch Light. Either that or I can do the Coors Banquet beer. Your choice.
Mix them both together so that we can have a banquet bush.
I'll have a medium bush then. Bush medium.
I'm still
almost a Coors Light at that point.
Coors medium light.
Yeah.
I have no idea where the Howard the Ref shirt is. It usually lives on the floor right here next to me. So if Howard the Ref gets summoned, I can, go like, oh, quickly. Found it.
There it is.
Oh, I'm glad you finally found it. I was going to think that today was the day that Howard died. It's kind of like the day the music died, except Howard died at that point. Hey, we can see you.
Yeah. I'll turn the lights up 1 notch.
And turn up the gain on it. A little hiss on the high end. This whole first part of the show has just been a giant stall. He's got
There it is.
Rude Boy's got the whistle. Linesman Rude Boy's calling for a stoppage in play. He has frozen the drink.
Pause.
Well, listen, I don't know who put the Howard the Ref jersey in the same drawer as the poncho. Makes perfect sense, but I don't know. As for the ruling, absconce is it's a fine word. It's okay. I mean, it's a little bit above the vocabulary level of this podcast, but we like to try to lift everybody up, so it's all good. Feel free to use the vocab.
All right. So it's a maple flavored old fashioned. No cherries. But yes, bullet bourbon.
At this point.
Yes.
Ensconced. Not Wisconsin, because then you would end up with a cherry, and nobody needs a cherry in their old fashioned.
No, sir.
2 minutes for terrible drinks. Send you to the box.
It's hockey season.
Oh, it's a 5-minute major. That's true.
Ooh.
That's very true. Goes on your permanent record.
And then if you muddle it, then it becomes, a 10-minute drink misconduct.
Even worse. Yeah. We might as well hand out both of them at once, because at that point, if you're dumb enough to put a cherry in it to begin with, then you might as well muddle it and just go full stupid.
Yeah. That's a 5 and a 10. Mm-hmm.
The tea.
Yep. Give them a technical.
No.
Technically not drinkable. That's what you've done it. Had that argument. I shouldn't even say an argument in Phoenix, because I posed it, and the one guy was correct, and the other guy was taught by some expert in the area that you put the cherry and you muddle it. And I went, no, sir, no. And then, of course, I directed them to beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch and buy yourself a Kidder's perfect old-fashioned recipe with, yes, no freaking sherry and no focus.
You just got to bring that wherever you go and ask for your old-fashioned to be made in that class.
I mean, that would help me out, because the amount that they charge for an old-fashioned, it should be that size.
Either that, or we just get, some Triple B business cards, and on the back, we just put the Kidder's old-fashioned recipe. Then anytime when he asks that question, you can just hand them the card.
I like your thinking, because I had already thought about making Triple B business cards to hand out, because I tell people about the show all the time.
See?
And we could mail Rude Boy about 1,000, and he could go around Des Moines putting them on car windshields, and they end up in the gutter.
Well, I've seen the what do they call it? So-called electronic business card that for the people that have the NFC enabled phones, that you can wave the card underneath the top of the phone, and it'll bring you to a website that allows you to click a link, and it just downloads the contact right into your phone. So it's it saves the environment and capitalizes on the new technology. So,
well, I have an epiphany. Rude Boy has really looked into this technology and has pioneered it for the Triple B, and so I nominate Rude Boy to get it, figure it out, and then roll it out for the Triple B.
All right, let's see what I can do.
Coming soon in the next 6 to 8 months.
Well, that's the web guy. The Rude Boy guy works on a tighter schedule.
Well, while he's looking into that, Kidder, what are you having tonight?
Just got to throw the seal so Orion has something to do. What should we have here? This kokanee looks like it needs to be drank right away. And so, I know I have some other new ones, but this one has been sitting like this for a little while. So, the return of the kokanee. And I've had it on the show before. It's a nice light beer with a little extra flavor. I would say. A little extra flavor than your standard light beer, or as Rude Boy is going to have later, a latte. But this is 12 fluid ounces in the glass bottle. It's brewed in the USA for the freshest of tastes. 137 calories. Yes, I'm reading this correctly. Okay, because they have commas in between things that shouldn't be there. 8.3 grams of carbohydrates, 1.7 grams of protein, no fat. This is just a skinny mini kokanee. And produced in by Kokanee in St. Louis, Missouri. And I know it's Missouri, but it was established in Creston, British Columbia. So, the Canadian sensation here. Hey, speaking of Canadians, I think I've smoked about half a pack of Canada for the rest of my life with how smoky it is. And I'd also like to say, maybe you guys will be on board, but because of all of the smoke, I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of problem. So if you guys want to jump on a class action lawsuit to sue Canada for the smoke, we should start that. Thank you for the effort in that.
Feeling verklempt.
Uh-oh, what's he linking to us?
Business cards.
Yeah, I sent you the link to what I found for the...
And how many months are we going to have to fundraise for this?
I don't say too much. Depends on how often you use it, I guess. So.
Well, at our donation rate of like 10 cents a month, we should get there by $22.80.
We got some funds in the old reserve.
Oh.
Well, I know we're recording right now, but if we're going to go live prime time, why not? Why not go live in prime time? I mean, it's something we're here Saturday night recording, and sometimes that little back and forth and the Saturday night engagement with people having a few drinks with us will spread the word. But just my 2 cents. But I'm no streamer and I'm no businessman. But yeah, you guys.
Well, you are a streamer and a screamer, so. From playing.
Maybe more of a teaser and a pleaser on my end. But.
Get the show stopper and then it's over.
Hey.
Howard's going, this show's just started and it's already too long.
We're off the rails, damn it. It's good we're not live.
or did he just finish all the setup on the business cards and he's already rolled it out?
No, Howard is just waiting to talk about his drink
because he's thirsty.
What is on tap for Howard Blues tonight?
Well, I'm already half done.
Yeah, that's what I get for going last. Because Howard is parent in charge, and because it's been a week, I decided instead of going with my usual weird experimental, I'm bringing out what I wanted to drink tonight, and so I have a cold smoke. That's right, Kettle House Brewing, Howard's favorite beer of all time. Got a nice one here. It's gonna be good, so I'll be sipping on this all night. So.
Smoke them if you got them.
That's good.
And is your rating remaining the same?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still a 5 out of 5. It's my favorite of all time.
And where is that one from?
The Kettle House. Yep, Kettle House Brewing Company. It is out of Missoula, Montana.
Oh, they get plenty of Canadian smoke up there. So.
And you can only
a little extra hazy.
Yeah, you can only get it in Montana. So anytime that I or somebody I know heads that way, I usually try and get some, and then I hoard it as much as I can until I really feel like I need one. So, but that's yeah. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. It's a nice Scotch ale for those who maybe haven't heard me talk about it. 6.5% alcohol by volume. It's a good dark beer. Just perfect.
One of those early fall perfect tastes.
Yes. So, if you're ever going through Montana, you need to grab Cold Smoke. That's just my ultimate recommendation. If you drink beer and you're going through, you should pick some up.
And Howard's just saying that as well, because even if you don't drink it, you can bring it to him.
Well, listen, you could pick up a 4-pack, try one, and then hey, if it's not your thing, send me an email. I'll take it off your hands.
Well, that's the benefit of the show is not only giving our opinions on the beers we drink, but it could be a digital beer delivery system. And we can
A DBS.
bring the tastes to those who enjoy the tastes we don't like.
Mm-hmm. Which, surprisingly, my dad has already, implemented. He has basically told me if I ever buy beer for this show and it's not good, he'll buy it off me at like 50 cents a can. So.
Taking one for
You
the
open
team.
a can, taste it. I don't like this. Put it back in the fridge. Here's 50 cents, please.
So, yeah. Usually, though, I buy singles, so it doesn't really work out that well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nah, put it down. Just wait till he comes over. Here, I got one for you. Man, this is flat. Yeah, that's from 2 weeks ago. 50 cents, please.
Yeah, I don't think he'd go for that.
Yeah,
And use it as
That's worth it. Worth a shot, yeah. Healthy bacteria colony in there. Clean up your gut.
Well,
I just wanted to mention, because we don't really talk about food that often. I mean, we kind of do, but we don't. It's not really food-ish, but the high chews. We've talked about high chew before on the show, pretty sure.
Mhm.
And pineapple being pretty much my favorite, but it's very hard to get the pineapple up this way by itself. You have to buy the tropical pack. And the problem with the tropical pack is there's too many mangoes in there. The mangoes. And I don't mind the mango, but when you have 30,000 of them, you're like, I've had enough. So when you, this is from my stash from Vegas from last month, because you can buy the singles of just the solo flavors, which I have not been able to find up here. It's just the variety packs. And of course, I'm sure I could, go on the Amazonian Nation and probably buy a 800 count for $8, but that would also be a lot.
Kidder, you just need to go to your local holiday station. I find the single packs there all the time.
But are they affordable?
I haven't looked. I like the multi-packs. But hey, if you do buy the multi-pack and you don't want all those mango, here's a pro tip for you, Kidder. You just set all
Throw 'em
those
in the
aside.
garbage.
No. Set them aside. And, right now, we're halfway through September as we record this. October will eventually be here.
I see what you're saying.
You have all your Halloween candy, because Haichu just does not go bad. So you just save it all, and then that's what you give out at Halloween. Mango Haichu. See? Solving your problem here.
Or I could just buy a box of 15 of these for $21. Which I'm pretty sure is cheaper than what I bought this for. So,
well, and I'm pretty sure you don't tend to turn your lights on for Halloween, if I'm not mistaken.
we have. What day is Halloween this year?
What is it? The 31st of October? Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
It's supposed to work, but too bad it's not at night.
I was going to say, it's amazing up in my neighborhood, how many people come into our neighborhood just to trick or treat. We get a lot of kids who aren't from the neighborhood.
I know why.
Yes. Anyway, But you can always tell because when you answer the door, it's always like, "Wow, Mister, you got a really big house." I'm like, "Not compared to some of those. Go over a couple blocks. You'll be impressed." Yeah, it's
of course, the strawberry 10-pack for $34.
just buy the variety, save it. I've given you a solution to this, man.
They have the 10-pack of pineapple ones on Amazon for about $34. You not find that one? Here, let me see.
Good thing I'm almost out of this. I need another one. It's gonna be my Echo.
Here we go.
Oh, he's sending it to me now.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is.
You put it in the chat, which means
Good.
Future Howard can put it in the liner notes.
There you go.
It's already in the multi-video. But you can't click on it. So
You can also order the mango ones that you love and enjoy.
Now I just kind of want to troll Kidder and buy just singles of the mango and just leave it on his doorstep.
That's another option too.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll stay there until
Should
Halloween.
be like, no treat. Here's your trick. Here's one pineapple for you.
Truthfully, that's we have done trick or treat at work in the Heritage Center for employees' kids, and that's actually what I always put in my bowl is haichu.
Nice. Well, so I don't remember ever having haichu. Is that just like a taffy type?
So here's kind of the fun history of it.
History with Howard.
It's actually from Japan, and in Japanese culture, it is rude to take anything out of your mouth, and so gum, you can't do gum because eventually you have to spit it out or swallow it, and swallowing it's not great, so you have to spit it out. So this guy manufactured this. Manufactured haichu, and it's meant to be like gum. You can sit and chew it for quite a while, and it's very flavorful, but eventually you can swallow it. So it's like a more flavorful, more chewable Starburst is kind of the best way I put it to people.
The most honorable candy.
Yeah, and it's slowly been picking up steam kind of in the United States, and
nice.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's as I said, I give it out mostly to try and get other people to like haichu as much as I do.
The sour ones are delicious too.
Yes.
Our first sponsorship is on the horizon. Haichu.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
I
I can get the pineapple, I can get the grape, I can get the green apple. All of the sours. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a flavor you like besides the pineapple?
You know, for myself, I haven't found a flavor that I really dislike.
Okay.
I've enjoyed them all. I'm not as picky as Kidder is, but
whoa, picky. I like almost every flavor except the mango. And I tolerate the mango. I eat the mango.
Is it just too artificial for you, or what is it about it?
There's too many of them in the bag. I'm just like, why can't we have more of the good flavor? Why do we have to have this filler?
Because I've seen, was it at the store that they made a like 1 or 2 pound bag of the like pink or red Starburst only. So it's like something that people, or at least the company realizes that that people enjoy certain Starburst or something like that. But obviously, haichu, they'll make a pack of straight pineapple or whatever flavor you want, but they also make the multi-pack. So,
anyway, yes, I'm not as picky as Kidder.
okay. He likes all of them except mango.
And the reduced sugar ones. Those taste gross.
Oh, I haven't tried those. That just seems like a bad idea.
The only reason that I tried them is because a certain hardware store that helps you save big money had them on the clearance rack for like 89 cents for a bag. I knew they had been there long enough to be on clearance because I would guess, number one, not a lot of people know about Haichu. Number two, reduced sugar, so you have
And number 3,
grenade.
the price ended in a 5 and not a 9.
Probably.
One of those weird
That's how they get you.
pricing tactics that the big box stores do.
Oh, but this isn't big box. It helps you save big money.
And number 4 was that it was all mango.
I don't remember what the reduced sugar flavors were, but there were two flavors. I think it was strawberry and mango, to be completely honest. But both of them tasted pretty nasty.
I wouldn't do those, but yeah. No,
Looking
I
at
enjoy
a
it.
4-pound box for $38.
There you go.
Can't pick the flavors though.
Oh, Mystery Mango. Listen to Mr. Muck Kidder.
Knowing Mark's like, that's what would happen. He would get 38 pounds. Mango.
He's gonna get a pallet
4
delivered
pounds
in
of
front of his garage. Hey, you the guy with the big mango Haichu delivery? You're like, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that box.
They have the fruit combos where they have pineapple, and you're like, oh, it's pineapple. No, it's a pina colada, so it's got nasty coconut on the outside. Get that crap out of here.
So
No
that's
margarita go for Mark.
that's 2 flavors he doesn't like: mango and pina colada.
Mm.
So see, the more we dig into this,
But I tolerate mango. The coconut's nasty. The dragon fruit's delicious. The Acier is delicious. Kiwi's really good. Orange tangerine, strawberry, red apple, black cherry. That one we just have to skip because it's a cherry. Raspberry, blueberry.
So skipping away
Colas.
from the whole taffy and the Haichu debate, is there any other candy that you really, really don't like? Is there something that like you've had it once, or you got it in your Halloween basket, and you're like, I will never ever buy this on the store shelves, or you bought one by chance and it's didn't go as you'd hoped?
Anything coconut?
Mm.
I just hate the taste of coconut.
Not an Almond Joy or a Mountain fan?
Nope. Garbage. I see that, and this candy does not bring me a joy.
So no coconut. No coconut, no mango.
No, I mean, I like mango. I don't understand why the confusion is here. Maybe it's because there's a multi-pack for $35 here
it's always
on
fun
Amazon
to see
here.
the scabs that we pick on this show.
Yep.
I have somebody else in this house to do that.
As for myself, I can't say that there's ever been a candy that I've been like, ugh, on.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, I don't have like the largest sweet tooth in the world, so I don't tend to eat a lot of candy to begin with. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a huge sweets person, so
Sure.
But like I'll every now and then I'll have something, and I don't know that I've had anything that I've been like, ugh. On maybe there was like a dark chocolate that was too dark, but
Too much cacao.
yeah, but
It's very
Otherwise,
dark. It wanted to kill you.
well, I'm just saying like that maybe there was, but I'd have a hard time thinking of anything. But I also think that as you grow, you kind of find those candies that you enjoy, and you kind of just stick to it. If you're in the grocery store and you're like, I want to grab a candy bar, hey, I like Three Musketeers. I'm going to grab a Three Musketeers because I know it's good and I know what I'm getting. I think that tends to happen with people.
So similar to beers, we have our own tastes and chocolates and candies.
I can get a 10-pack for $34. Wait a minute.
Is it on the way?
I mean, $1.93 an ounce. And these packs are 1.76 ounces. Math. I was going to have one, but
About
I need another beer.
$3 and change a pack.
Kidder, for those listening to the audio, I think he's reaching for another beer. He's going for a drink. He's like, we've gotten to math. I need to
Time for some beer math.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to everybody's second favorite segment on the show. What's on tap? Round 2. Kidder drinks alone.
I drink alone. Yeah, you asshole.
Ready for round 2. I also have another selection of beers besides the Coors Banquet and the Busch Light. Those are leftovers from the tailgates that I've been to the past few weeks. So I picked up a selection today that might be worth featuring. So
Thanks.
So this is part of Local Geeks Spy Network, and this beer comes to us from Littleton, New Hampshire. It's brewed and packaged by Schilling Beer Company. You can find them online at schillingbeer.com, SCHILLING beer.com. This is a Jacobus, a German-style Pilsner. This is going to be a great beer, yeah. 5% alcohol by volume. This is 1 pint of beer. Has the wheat stalks on there. There you go.
you said what city was that out of, Mark?
This is from Littleton, New Hampshire. Don't know if we've had one from there yet. Buble. I know Local Geek, since he had the inception for that, would know, and why he helped us get these, because I think he said we're down to about 20 states left. We got a couple out there, and I don't know if Pennsylvania is one, but JS was just out there and tried to smuggle some of that local beer back. And so hopefully he has enough to share, and of course sharing is caring. So cheers to you, Jacobuses. You see what I did there? There's some hops.
So, state-wise, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are missing Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Kansas, Maine, Maryland, Mississippi. You just knocked New Hampshire off the list. New Mexico, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia.
And for the record, when I was in Phoenix, I asked the local establishment, which I picked that up. What the hell was it called? I should have left the bag over here. Because the Tommy's? No.
It was like Taylor's. I forget.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas? No.
Yeah. Anyway, 13 states not represented. The state represented most is Minnesota with 15. Thank you, Local Geek. And that might be slightly off because we got we have some episodes in the can that he hasn't heard yet. So,
Or the bottle.
However you like to brew it. By video or by audio.
Or some cans in the keg.
Hit here since I'm in the spreadsheet and
Trevor's Liquor.
Trevor's. There it is. Since I'm in the spreadsheet, I can look at some other fun stats. Kidder, so far, and again, he's a couple episodes behind. You have consumed 206 drinks on the Triple B. 197 of them alcoholic, 9 non-alcoholic. I myself have consumed 173, with 152 of those being alcoholic, 21 being non-alcoholic. Our guests combined have had 150 drinks consumed, 142 of them alcoholic, 8 non-alcoholic.
But
In
who's
the
counting?
in the battle of the guests, we have let's see, he's got this in an interesting order. Leading the way in number of appearances is the local geek. He's been on 18 episodes.
Look at that scowl. Look at his face. Where's
He has
Sterling when you
consumed-
need him?
He's consumed 45 beverages on the show. In second place is Big D, who's been on 17 times and has consumed 31 drinks. Then it is Rudeboy Kyle with 14 episodes. And I have to do, because he's got you in 2 places, 22 drinks had on the show. Which is interesting because JS Gunslinger has only been on 11 episodes and he has consumed 23 drinks.
Yes, he has.
So one more.
So I need to up my DPS and my appearances, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm just giving the stats because after JS, like visitation like drops down. Like Farva's been on 3 times, Midnight Rocker 4. Brother Nico 7. We have a couple of 2s. Although he's missing a couple on here, at least with drinks consumed.
Thanks for what you do, local geek.
Yeah.
Ease up on the beers while you're doing the stats.
Mm-hmm. And local geek, when you get to this, yeah, you have you have 2 Rude Boy Kyle columns under the guests. You have one where it's Rude Space Boy Kyle, and then down at the bottom you have Rude Boy all as one. So you might need to fix something in the
That's
spreadsheet.
my multiple personalities.
He's got double V.
Listen, if we're going to talk multiple personalities, I think I would win on this one. I forget how many different personalities of Howard there are that have appeared on this show.
No, I have an expert in house for that. I made him take a drink.
Better take a few for the punishment you're going to get when she listens to this.
I'm just curious how she's an expert in number of Howard personalities. That's the connection I didn't quite.
Because she knows you for so many years.
Mm-hmm. Well, gents, I think it's we should do a little catch up. Anybody playing anything interesting in the old video game world? I ask because you guys tend to have more time than I do.
Well, aside from the truck sim that we've yet to find some time for in the past few weeks with overtime and travels and all that, but let's see, Mark told me about Farm Sim 19, who and it was available on Amazon Games for free, and we gave it a go on a multiplayer evening. We played for a couple hours and it was a good time. And I was like, well, Farm Sim 22 was out.
It's hilarious because he created a farm and then I joined his farm and bought a bunch of skid steers and front end loaders.
He bought the whole store, so
all the attachments.
Yeah. But yeah, Farm Simulator 22 I've put in some hours on, and there's some definite improvements, and it was interesting because I was able to make a direct comparison back to Farm Sim 19 and some solid improvements. And I know some of the people who've been on the show and and watch the show or are into the farming market in some point or fashion, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good change of pace from American Truck Simulator, but it also has some of those aspects built into it. But yeah, I've gotten into that recently, and it's I'd call it a really customizable, and you can dial in whatever experience you want. You can go as we'll call it start from the roots and go from a brand new farm with maybe an acre or two to raising money and distributing your product to different facilities within the map or the town that you live by. To you can add a few $1 million to your account and get the best of the best equipment, and so it's something that you have to take. You can make it whatever kind of experience you want in terms of farming, and yeah, I've enjoyed it. So
sounds like by the time you get your farm built up, you'll have an acre too.
But yeah, sometimes it's something where if you're more into the realistic aspects of things, you can put in the time and effort to do some soil samples, figure out exactly what kind of soil you're working with in terms of your crops. There's a mod within the game called Precision Farming, and you can have sensors added to your implements so that you know your pH levels, your fertilizer levels, your amount of lime that you need to apply to your field. If you need to remove rocks or stones from your field, if you need to remove weeds. So it's a kind of a very niche kind of game that there's a dedicated YouTube group that a lot of people make some role play aspects, or you can take on whatever type of aspect of farming you want in whatever fashion you want. So it's been a good diversion from the games that I've gone through the past 6 months to a year, and I've enjoyed it.
Kidder, I know you've been the world traveler as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any time for gaming, or has that all been on hiatus as you've been?
I've just been doing a little Star Trek Online pretty much every day. Do my my dailies so that I can get the free stuff every promo period that they're doing. So just mission here, extra thing there. The brand new featured story was just released this past week, featuring Garrett Wang, who was on Star Trek Voyager as Ensign Harry Kim. In the game, he finally got his promotion to captain, and this new mission features interacting with him and a new type of Borg as they're invading the galaxy, and you must repel them, send them back from whence they came. And it's a 20 day, something like that, promo. So each day you have to play the mission to get another entry toward the main prize pack thing, and it's anti-assimilation something or other.
Interesting.
And then, of course, they're doing more stuff in lockboxes, is what they're called in the game. And what the lockboxes have is just random, I don't want to call it junk, but there's a bunch of random stuff in there. And very, very rare chance at getting the top tier items, such as a ship token. So you can select from a very limited list of ships, and that's the only way that you can get them in the game, unless somebody sells you or on the exchange or trades to you. And those are typically going for around 250 billion energy credits. I don't even have 1 billion energy credits, and I've been playing it for 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I also don't go on the marketplace and sell a lot of stuff either. So, I mean, I could buy the keys, which cost actual money. I could put those on the marketplace and then make the in-game currency, or in turn, also just buy the keys and then use them on the lockboxes in the attempt to get one of these on my own. Now, people have tested this theory both on the live server and the test server over the years since they started doing these lock boxes, which are basically a money grab. It would cost you or me approximately $300 in keys for the percentage, which is about a 0.3% chance of getting one if you just pay one key, one lock, one box. So around $300 is what people estimate. That's the general going rate for unlocking a ship. And I will admit that I have purchased the packs on the store. They did a Mirror Universe ship pack, which had 6 or 7 ships in it. And then they did a bigger anniversary pack that had legendary ships in it with even higher power and capabilities. So I bought that pack. And then the 11th year pack I bought, and that had Ambassador Worf in it, so you can have him as a bridge crew member and put him on away teams or different things like that. But also had some ships and other items. And so by purchasing the ones that I have, I am more of a fan because I purchase exactly what I want. Versus, well, I need to spend like $300 potentially to possibly get this one token for a ship. So do I spend 80 to 120 on 6 ships, or 300 on one ship? Right? I'm like, I don't know. And potentially, again, going back to it, I could buy a bunch of the keys and then sell them in the marketplace, potentially getting enough energy credits so that if there's one available on the market, I can buy one of those for, $200 billion. Yeah, energy credits, that is, not actual dollars. Anyway, so that annoys me about the in-game mechanics and dealing with the real money, because at that rate I would rather them go back to a pay-to-play, a subscription model, so then they didn't have to raise money by squeezing it out of everybody. They could just put it out there as, do you want these extras? It's DLC. So that part bothers me. The nice thing is, no matter if you have 1 character or 15, when you unlock and purchase those ships, like I've done, they're available for the entire account. So every character, that even if you start a brand new one, you're like, I love this ship. Insert this ship here. I can play that ship on any character, even if I'm just starting the game. The dumb thing, again, talking about the lock boxes and having to get those limited edition ships. They're not even limited edition. They're just limited in number ships. And the limited number of how many times you would have to try to get a token for this. You only get that for that character. So you remember when we were playing and I had that token for the ship, and I was like, which one should we try? And you went with the Terran version of the Strange New Worlds Enterprise. So that ship is locked to my Cardassian character. I cannot just get that on any of my other characters. I would have to get another one of those tokens or buy it on the store for each character, which is, again, a huge money grab. And I think it's pretty dumb, but I don't work for the company and I don't make the money that they make. So there's that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole lottery system of lock boxes, and you have to pay to play, basically, even though I bought a lifetime subscription back in the day?
I've never really been a fan of the whole lockbox microtransaction sort of thing. So a lot of times I will play the game and I will play with whatever I can, so like with Call of Duty and the Battle Pass, I've never purchased. I don't care if I miss out on some of that. It is what it is. I guess I kind of feel like when you spend the money to buy the game, that should be enough. And if I have to pay a lot more, unless it's like DLC I'll sometimes be okay with, but otherwise I don't know. I just kind of pass on a lot of the purchase things.
I hated the Call of Duty cards and the lock boxes and whatever that stupid crap was, because 90% of the time it was worthless. Probably 95% of the time. And I think that's what these lock boxes are as well in Star Trek Online. You get just crap that you don't want or you won't use, and so you try to sell it on the market for the exchange, and it won't sell, probably.
It's gotten to the point where it's made at least the Call of Duty aspect, it's made the game, the launcher, and the whole atmosphere, if you don't spend the time to keep up with the game, it is massively too confusing to anyone wanting to get into the game. It's something that you unlock things for games that you don't own. And
thanks, Call of Duty.
you just, unless you're truly invested in the whole atmosphere of Call of Duty, or it's something that you have no clue as to what is going on, because it's like I have no use for what I just unlocked, and you're making progress in a game that you don't own. But round two, gentlemen.
Oh, there you go. Before we get to what you have drinking there, I just wanted to touch on Battlefield 2042 because I haven't played it in a long time. And it's not like as long as you guys. We're talking maybe 2 months here. I played it for a couple days here and there, but still along those lines with 2042, they're doing improvements and trying to get people back into the game and whatnot. So they have different weapons and different skins that you can earn for free, and they have the battle pass, the season pass, whatever, and that's stuff that you can use in that game, which thankfully you don't waste money, for paying for that because you want to play that game, but it's actually for Battlefield 2043 or something stupid like Call of Duty did. Asshats. But Either way, the whole microtransaction, like I get it, they're trying to keep the game alive, and I also get that maybe it is supposed to be a rare thing because it's a cool ship. It's, powerful, but at the same time, maybe if you just offered it up by itself as a pack, maybe people would rather buy that, spend their money specifically. But then you think about it as a business and like, oh yeah, we can get these idiots to pay $300 per thing, and they're going to keep doing it and keep doing it. And so then we slush these guys for thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an industry that even a game itself sometimes, like I've seen, even with me getting involved in the farm simulator, there's certain mods that come out that are third party developed, but those third parties will want some form of compensation. And it's not part of the year 1 pass or the year 2 pass. And it's somewhat confusing to someone who's just jumping into a game brand new. I tasted Farm Sim 19 for free thanks to Amazon, and I bought Farm Sim 22 because they make a premium edition, a platinum edition, and then there's a whole bunch of other DLCs that are scattered about within that Farm Sim 22 universe. And I looked into it, and before I bought anything, I was like, well, what's the difference between the premium and the platinum edition?
About
so
$350.
I ain't giving you no $350.
it was a couple bucks at the store that I bought it from, but it was something that I had to look online, and I found out that the premium edition came with the year 1 and the year 2 pass, which included a whole slew of DLCs under its umbrella.
You can get 2 skid steers instead of 1.
Oh, thankfully, there's a very healthy mod store within the game itself, not on the Steam store itself, but within the game itself, that people make a lot of things available for free, and as well as the people who develop the game, they make free mods that you can download and add things to your game. But there's also third-party developers that make something that doesn't fit under we'll say the I'm trying to figure out the difference between the premium and the platinum. Platinum included a lot of forestry expansions that you incorporated in cutting down trees and harvesting trees into certain lengths and then distributing them to production points or buying production points that made furniture or planks or logs, wood type products as another type of harvestable product like corn and grain and
Harvester of sorrow.
So it was somewhat. I had to take my time into figuring out which different edition of the game to buy, because the platinum edition, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember which one it was. Basically, one encompassed the other, but there was one that didn't encompass the previous one, and it was something I was like, I want to get the most DLC and passes and DLC for my buck. And thankfully I bought the right one, so I'll have to go back into my emails and figure out which one I actually bought. But the platinum versus the premium, there's a lot of confusion. There's also, when I went to go search about it on Google, measurable confusion between, well, what's the difference between this? And people people weren't happy that certain DLCs were included versus not included in another edition. And then a third-party developer comes in and says, well, we want to make this expansion, and then this is available for $18. And it's like, well, it's only included in one pack, but not the other. But it's still
That's
something
what you get for buying the newer version.
Well, I did my research, and I got the right edition, correct edition for the most, we'll say,
Bang for your buck.
For my money. And so yeah, it's something that to include the pass in one versus not the other is somewhat deceptive. So I get that they want to make some money here and there, but when you're going to price both of them within a few bucks of each other and not include a measurable amount of DLC in one versus the other, it's like, well, you're doing a base game, but you're not making it clear what edition, because platinum versus premium, I mean, which one do you choose? So they both sound pretty good to me, but when you go jumping into a new game and want to get into it, it's I spent a good day and a half researching the differences between the two and figuring out this is the DLC progression that they've released, and this includes 2 years worth of year passes, which have their own subsets of DLCs, and then the Platinum Edition is a whole other iteration of the game, but it's also included in the premium. So I know which one to gift you, Mark.
Trucking sim.
Speaking of which, they announced Arkansas and Nebraska as future expansions.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Nebraska way because it'll get us closer to the Des Moines way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're hoping that I know Oklahoma's a very popular one. Meanwhile, they've expanded on their Texas map, and yeah, it was something that I'd watched there. It was a live, because the SCS company that releases the truck simulators for both American and Euro truck simulators, they've got a decent sized team in Europe, but they work on multiple games, and they did a live stream of them, we'll say live releasing the Oklahoma DLC, and it was a big party at their headquarters, and it was fun to watch them and the CEO and their PR department put on a party for just this DLC, and that was my first experience with them, sort of just bringing a lot of effort from their entire team, because then their cafeteria or their social area, they went around to everybody and everybody's waving hi, and so it was something that I happened to be at home while they were live streaming it, and so it was a good experience, but it's another one of those aspects that this game company has made it clear that they sell a base game that you can get on sale for $5, but you get a certain geography with the game, and then you expand upon it if you want. So yeah, it's sometimes a very confusing atmosphere to get the game that you want and the experience that you want without overspending or buying the wrong edition of the game to have a good time.
What's Howard's the ref? Howard the ref's final decision and ruling. Howard's the ref.
Ruling on what?
DLC and people making the different versions of the game almost identical, so then people get confused to just buy the highest paying one anyway.
You know, the thing about that is I hate all of these sort of tactics, and this is maybe part of why I'm not as much of a gamer. I like the companies that eventually yes, they're going to put out DLC, but eventually you can just get the whole thing. Like, one of the things I like about, like, say, the Mortal Kombat franchise with NetherRealm Studios. I'm a guy, I'm not competitive. I can wait. I'm patient on it. I know eventually they'll put out the Ultimate Edition that has all of the DLC in one pack, and I'll just purchase that. But for a lot of games, I don't want to have to deal with all of that. I don't have enough time to actually do gaming and to sit and figure out, well, gosh, it's this pack or that pack or this or that. I don't want it. I just want to be able to go, here's the game that I want. Here we go. And the last game that I sat and kind of did that all with was Diablo. I decided to pick up some of those, give them a try, and to try and figure out like the different packages on my Xbox as to which one had everything. Oh, I had to come back to it like 3 times because I kept getting frustrated, like going back and forth trying to figure out, well, this pack has this, this, and this, but this pack has this, this, and this, and
they definitely try to milk the impulse buyer in a lot of people. So that one thing, if I were to give a wag of the finger to, it's something that they market 2 vastly different products with different tangible outcomes to those products in a very similar fashion, but one's obviously a very better deal than the other, and that's one reason why I did like the way SCS has done the truck simulators, because you can buy the base game and you can
or have Rudeboy gifted to you, thankfully.
Yeah. and you can expand upon it if you want, and it's very clear this is the time and the effort that they put into expanding the map, and this is what you get. And it's something that they've made improvements not only to the map itself, but the base game in terms of playability and sounds. And there's a very healthy mod market on Steam and other avenues that you can make the experience really what you want. But there's certain companies that will do their best to deceive you in multiple ways, that you kind of have to slice each iteration into its own kind of, what do you get out of this money? And so yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting year of gaming so far. So I know, let's see, City Skylines 2 is coming out within another month or so, and we've Mark and I have played that a little bit here and there. And
yeah, I've played going back to the Cities game itself.
Yeah,
from, man, that must have been out 15 years ago when they started coming out with the Cities games.
Yeah, it's they've had a lot of expansions to their games too. It's almost reminded me of the Sims franchise. That see, I've heard that Sims 5 is going to be free to play, and then I instantly went to, it's a mobile game adapted for the computer that's going to be pay for whatever experience you want in terms of DLC. And
Of course, super duper pay to play.
it went. It soured on me very fast when I saw that headline, but it's all rumors at this point. But round 3 for Mr. Kidder, and round 2 is in progress for me. I have the Sam Adams Flannel Fest Munich Dunkel beer.
He's gonna get a dunkel in his flannel, that's for sure. Watch out.
But yeah, it says it features robust notes of toasted bread and caramel,
Bread.
balanced by a floral hop aroma. It goes down easy.
That's what she
classic
said.
German style lager paired with flannel will keep you cozy during your coldest or of beer season adventures. Signed by Jim Koch.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
What's your rating for it? You got a 1 to 5.
give it a 3.8.
There you go.
All of that.
High praise for flannel from Flannel Rude Boy.
It's good tasting. We'll call it. Well, they call it a dunkel beer.
Dunkel, do you?
So it's not overly heavy, but it's part of a 4-pack of the seasonal Sam Adams release for the Beer Fest. So it's got the Flannel Fest, the Jacko Pumpkin Ale, which I've got to crack open. There's also a Hoppy Ale and their classic Oktoberfest beer with 3 12-ounce cans of each in a 12-pack. So the Flannel Fest is a new release. But yeah, I think it's done just about right. So I'd say it's not overly heavy. I'd say it'd go good with a good steak and potatoes dinner.
There you go. For my next up here, it's from Fargo Brewing Company in Fargo, North Dakota. It is the Fargo Original Lager beer. Drink Fargo, the beer for any occasion. It's cold, it's fresh. You keep it cold, you keep it fresh. 5.1% alcohol by volume and 17 on the IBU scale. Excuse me there. 12 fluid ounces. You can find them online at fargobrewing.com. Of course, the nice man's holding the wheat right there. Very, very farmery, and this guy's pretty buff. I mean, look at that.
And got the
size of his elbows.
The
like
Fargo
John Cena
colors
before
on
he
there,
had
too.
surgery. Anyway, I can't remember if I've had this on the show before. I've had a couple of the beers from Fargo Brewing, and of course, being live louded on location at the Fargo Brewing Company for a concert last year. Had a sample of a lot of their beverages and enjoyed several of their beers. Nice golden aroma.
So you've had the Stone's Throw Scottish Ale, the There She Goes. Actually, that was Local Geek had There She Goes. And then you had the Oktoberfest for Fargo Brewing Company.
Officially on the show, because I think I just posted that as an on-location video to the El Facebook page.
Yeah, it's only the ones that happen on the main show that ever make it onto the spreadsheet.
Well, this one counts, and I bought a 6-pack. This one's really good. 4.7.
Wow.
5.
Wow.
Really good.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Drink local and drink often, apparently.
How's she go down? How's she taste?
It's smooth. Nice golden taste. It's like I don't want to say a light beer because that would be too little flavor. Maybe similar to a Budweiser, but with just more flavor to it, more robust taste and smoothness. Good stuff. So we were talking gaming, and last week did I end up talking about Star Trek Infinite?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
I thought I did, but of course, just the eternal question, because did I or didn't I? We're talking gaming, so why not? I did not purchase it. It is not coming out until October, but I've watched a couple of the promo videos for it, the features of the game, and I have a hard time just thinking about, do I want to play this? Do I not want to play it? And I don't know. It reminds me of some of the old school games that I used to love playing back when the computer technology was even more limited. But
why is it priced at $30 or I'll say $39.99 for the deluxe edition?
That's because the deluxe edition you get the California class USS Cerritos from Star Trek Lower Decks. You also get the Lower Decks uniforms, even though the Admiral uniform is not the correct uniform, along with downloadable content like the soundtrack to the game, the sketches used in creating the game, and I think there's one more thing.
So you get the base game plus Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Rude Boy's looking at it. He's like, yeah, maybe we could play. I don't know. Does that actually look like, as I
says single player and online PvP?
Having my earbud rip out of my ear, and now it's like, oh. But does that actually look like something that would kind of interest you as a real-time strategy game that to me isn't really like a real-time strategy game because it's more like a turn-by-turn strategy game. That's how it feels to me anyway. Howard, I don't know if you got a chance to look at any of the stuff. No? Okay.
Because I see that Steam has it listed as single player or online PvP.
Yeah. And so I think it would just be like the PvP mode versus co-op.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Howard, I was really hoping that Howard the Ref would have a weigh-in on this tonight, but it appears he's just going to have to put it in the captions and in the show notes.
You think I'm going to have time? Well, I guess I do have like 4 or 5 weeks to, check it out before this episode actually comes out. So
yeah, when I saw it on your wish list there, Mark, I clicked on it and I was like, "Oh, it's $30. It's going to be one of these games." Before I even just read anything about it,
and what do you mean by
Trek
one of
Infinite
these
is a grand
games?
strategy experience that lets you play your own Star Trek story as the leader of one of 4 major factions in the galaxy. Follow the specially crafted story or blaze your own trail in the first Star Trek grand strategy game. So it's turn-based, which I'm not a fan of. It seems like they're adapting the Star Trek universe into a game style in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Where you said it's semi real-time strategy, But if I think of real-time strategy, I think of Age of Empires, where you're moving things and everybody else is moving things, and you do what you have to do to develop your area of influence, your empire. But if this is turn-based, the only turn-based game that I have seriously enjoyed is South Park.
Yes.
So
Is that the fractured butthole?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's something that I don't know. There's some game styles that I think it might be enjoyable to watch more than play myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think this might be more of the real-time strategy, just because the videos for the Star Trek variant, it's literally pre-production, and the production team has been limited from sharing or answering any questions, sharing details, that is, by contract until after the game is released. And so really what you see is what you get. But the game is built off of their other primary game, which is apparently a pretty big hit game. And I don't remember it. I think I said it last week. But I don't know. I think it's similar to another Star Trek game that was out maybe 20 years ago at this point as well. I think it was Star Trek Federation or something like that. I'd have to go back in my notes. It's one of the games that I didn't have back in the day, so I never got a chance to play it. But it was a love it or hate it game where people who liked that game style absolutely loved it, and other people didn't like it and they hated it, right? For me, what I absolutely adored was Star Trek Armada, because that was like Command and Conquer. It's a real-time strategy. It's very similar to Command and Conquer.
Yeah, Command and Conquer, I loved playing back in the day. But when it says deep and complex strategy, there's just a headliner for that, and then it says Star Trek Infinite is built upon the core systems of Stellaris.
Yes, that's the game.
Leveraging the deep and complex system and making them its own. Aspects of these systems have been streamlined and simplified to better resonate with the Star Trek franchise. So, and there's a warning for mature content. So, I am not familiar with what Stellaris is, but watching various streams online and seeing what other people and their opinions on these types of games are, I take it with a grain of salt. But I don't know what Stellaris is, but if you were to incorporate a different version of a different game that's popular into Star Trek Infinite, I would say it might be worth trying out. But when I just browse through the screenshots that they have on Steam, it does remind me a lot, like you said, Mark, of the Command and Conquer type of game style. So it could have a Star Trek version of Civilization, perhaps.
Yeah, it's closer to it looks, because I've been looking while you guys have been talking. It looks very close to either like a Civilization or even like the Total War series. So it kind of more of like, yes, it's very turn-based when you're dealing with managing your chunk of the solar system or galaxy, and your territory and kind of your development inside of things. That's the turn-based side. But it looks like then the actual battles are more more of your real time strategy.
Sure.
So it gives me very Total War vibes and such. So take that for what you will. It's described as a 4X, so that makes a bit of sense.
A 4X.
Mm-hmm. What is it? That's exploration, extermination.
Exterminate.
Let's see. It's late, so I'm trying to remember what the other 4X. Of course,
Rewrite and arithmetic.
explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. That's what it is. Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate.
It's still on the tracker, but I don't know. I don't think I'll buy it. Just because I have so many other things to play, like Star Trek Resurgence. I played through maybe 10% of the game, and that one, just have to play through it, make some choices, do some things, enjoy the story as best I can. Howard's got a box.
Is that an online-based game, or is there an offline story?
It is essentially offline story.
Okay.
Standalone game, no multiplayer to it, because you make decisions on the fly to change how people around you react and view you, but then also potentially change the story.
Okay.
Whatever they call those types of games specifically, of you can use this reaction or say this dialogue, and then it points you down this path.
Mm-hmm.
That type of game. I mean, it wasn't too bad the little bit that I played, but I just haven't had time to go back and continue playing that.
Sure.
Otherwise, having this third beer today, September 16th, almost ahead of myself. September 16th,
Febtober.
National Sober Day. So cheers to that.
I'll celebrate tomorrow. Well, Kidder, you have spent last few episodes talking about your time at the con. And, a couple of weeks ago was the one convention that I would love to go to, but I have kids. And that is ReaperCon down at Denton, Texas. And so, as I have for the last few years, I waited till after the con to try and purchase some of the swag that they do from that. I missed out on the swag bag. Those were gone like that. But I did manage to snag myself the ReaperCon Borrowgate Collector's Box.
Oh boy, that looks like it's expensive. Maybe we shouldn't say the actual price just because the recorded video proof.
Anybody could easily go to reapermini.com and find out for themselves. Truthfully, in the old ReaperCon stuff, they usually gave coupons. So I may have cashed in a bunch of coupons. I saved them up for ReaperCon just so I can get the box at a discount. Added in, that wasn't originally part of this whole thing. I talked about it, Kidder, on the show. Reaper, the always good guys that they have a special miniature to help benefit those affected by the wildfires in Maui. They had the Mako Tiki Shark, and I did manage to pick up 2 of those. So here they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are pretty awesome. So got those. And then because of the price tag on my purchase, got some free miniatures as well, because they do that.
Just out here.
So
It's like us with the DLC, Rude Boy.
Yeah. So we got a lovely bard here. Of course, nothing is going to want to focus because that's the one thing this show lacks. It's focus. But anyway, it's her. And then this kind of interesting vampire chick. Let's describe her. A elf paladin. So you know that he's an arrogant dick because paladins are dicks. A dwarf forge priestess. The classic bones, so it's going to be blindingly white. And then a pack rat to finish off the free add-ons because of how much this cost. And then we get into the box itself. It comes with a lovely Reaper tweezers. So great for handling your miniatures or dealing with small parts. Came with a set of Sophie's Lucky Dice. For those who don't know, Sophie is the official mascot of Reaper. So there she is, and set of her dice. So we also got in here a lovely micro dual angle file. So that'll be really nice. It comes with... they've been putting out these for those who like Dungeons and Dragons. It is a adventure setting, so Borrowgate comes with all sorts of stuff for playing adventures in that setting. The big item in here is a giant bag, so a carrying case for miniatures, paints, things like that. It's in there. It also comes with Borrowgate, a lovely map showing off the city. So, guess what, guys? That's going on the wall eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the boxes. In the first mini box that's in here,
Box never ends.
yeah, we actually have 12 brand new paints in here. So, Mr. View Rose, Crowberry, I mean, all of the fun titles for Trope Jasper. So, I actually should pull these out and kind of show. So, there's the Crowberry, kind of a color. They're, of course, not going to look great. There's the Rose color, the Red Fork Jasper. So, kind of a nice set of pastels, actually. Elf Road. It's kind of a pastel blue.
I was going to say those look chalky versions of the primary colors.
Yeah, Ghostly Fog, kind of a bluish gray. Steed Green. Yep, it's kind of a nice set of desaturated colors. Mistwood, it's kind of your light gray. Lamplighter's yellow. So Aragrot Goldmare. So kind of a 3 yellows in here. Meadowlark Gold. You know, for all of us North Dakotans. Thought that would have gotten a reaction out of Kidder. That's fine. Nice scarlet color. And Morning Glory. It's the last color. So, paints. Then we get some of the models that are in here. This is a drunken orc. So he's laying passed out.
One axis orc.
Yep. This is Hollis Greyhearth, the halfling druid, and his little rabbit. So, again, we'll see if the camera decides to focus. Maybe. Howard's going to then have to get photos if it doesn't. But you can kind of see the rabbit and such. This is the ReaperCon Ed Pugh tribute mini. So Ed Pugh was one of the founding brothers of Reaper Miniature, and it is a I forget what the name of these guys are, but it is a 6-handed skeleton playing the bongo drums. So, yeah.
Bongo City, baby.
So, Arachno musician is what that is.
Going back to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
And
continuing with our
music.
Fun townsfolk. Here we have the ReaperCon 2023 Pokey Tool, because you can never have too many Pokey Tools. So
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. Then we have the Townsfolk Puppeteer. So he's. We have the Gambling Dwarves. So it's a set of 3 dwarves who are clearly playing dice.
Now that's a dicey
They
situation.
come with a slice of cardboard so they can play in the alley.
Yep. Here we have a riverboat pilot. And he's, of course, drinking out of his tankard. But again, this is why I love Reaper. He's got a monkey on his shoulder that is also drinking from a tankard.
Glad they're drinking because I'm out.
Oh,
We have the Townsfolk Flirty Wench.
and she has a tankard herself.
Yep. This is the Drinking Dwarves. So it's a set of 4 dwarves, all of them with tankards. There's even one with a barrel, actually down here, strapped to his back, full of booze. So,
It's like this set was designed for us.
Why do you think I wanted to put this on the show? The Townsfolk Pouncer and Patron. So she's clearly got him in a headlock. He's had one too many, and excuse me, sir, you're going to have to exit the premises. So
It's the night on the town pack.
yeah. And our last one in here, it is simply called Townsfolk The Brawl. And gentlemen, I do love this. It is a orc, but he's got like 4 halflings fighting him. So some real fun miniature.
That one looks like he was designed to punch the guy to his right. Then he accidentally connected straight on with the guy's jaw right below him.
So some
I'm
fun
gonna miss.
swag from Reaper. I am sad that I didn't get the swag bag, because that usually then has like the ReaperCon Sophie and Mouseling. I'll maybe have to see if they decide to produce those later and add those to my ever-growing set of Reaper minis. One of these days I'll find time to paint them up. That's how it goes. So,
Any other figures to show us in the magic box?
that's pretty much it for the magic box. I now get the joy that everybody who supports Reaper gets, which is trying to figure out how to fit it all back in the box.
Oh, I thought you were going to say figure out how to pay for it. But
Listen, I don't worry about my hobby funds.
Who's counting?
So,
well, we were talking Modern Warfare earlier, and the new Call of Duty this year, instead of skipping a Modern Warfare, they're going straight from 2 to 3. It's been elevated. They're bringing it out, I don't know when, probably November or so, I would imagine. And this year, it is Modern Warfare 3. And the question is, what map are you looking forward to playing? The classics. And I almost have to say the rail yard, the winter rail yard, is one of my favorites from the original MW3, because about 2010, Rudeboy and Smalls, and I suppose we had Will in there too. Who else do we have in there?
The occasional Nico. Well, yeah, I'd say. Well, he had
I'm laughing because Howard like slowly raised his hand, and I'm like, Howard the ref was not in there because clearly he would have settled the score faster.
Well, there's also the fact that I mean we appreciated the time that people could come when they were able to, and
Yeah.
regardless if you had family obligations or other things. But yeah,
You and I played for hours on
there's
end.
a few dusty videos on the old Facebook that we had we had some awesome moments on Modern Warfare 2. Man, I can't get past Modern Warfare 2 was, I'd say, if you were to call some of our competitive yes, thank you, Sterling.
You weren't even alive yet.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I gotta show you those videos someday. Those were our first person shooter gaming prime days. Because man, that's what is the map that we called Bongo City? I know we came up with our own names for these maps, but it was something that we absolutely just
destroyed,
obliterated on that map with shotguns. Whatever it was,
I think it was Favela.
Yeah, Favela was a fun map.
Starts out.
Yeah.
And then,
it also helped that we had some.
now.
we also had some awesome music blasting on the in the background on music choice. So that was well before we had the ability to synchronize our playlist through listening on Spotify. So we had to do that. But
get in the backseat, baby.
Yes.
Got the, and then the right. I don't want to actually say it just because then it's recorded. We'll save that for a live stream later, which is also recorded. I know. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 is the one that we played the most time on.
Yeah,
we played a lot on MW2, including even in Montana when we took our trip out there with It Who, playing out there, and some of the kids out there and their modded maps. You jump and you end up in the stratosphere. Like, well, there's no coming down from here.
That was kind of the first time that the Unholy Alliance actually ever truly extended beyond Kidder and myself, because there may have been some secret teaming up between all of us oldies versus the kids in the first-person shooters. So,
remember how pissed they were when I beat their ass? We play this game all the time, like, you're not better than us. And then my kid, like, I blew them away, and they're like, whatever, bro. And Howard's laughing because he was running interference, and It Who was running interference, and I'm just boom, 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 just blasting them.
that's like us on Shipment. I mean,
Yeah.
that's our old school version of Shipment. We with the newest iteration of Call of Duty, when they've started merging all their games into one launcher, and what was it? Just the Modern
24/7 shipment, baby.
Oh my goodness! That
Load it up.
if they made that a
permanent
continuous
feature.
playlist, then I think we would be one of the best in the world.
It's hilarious. We'd play that for 6 hours straight. You want another one? Yep.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shipment. I don't know what I think it really catered to our playing style of being able to
Inability to aim.
well, but I mean, it was something that we really focused on covering each other's backs and having the ability to I mean the shotguns have accuracy to a point, but if you can just take a 20 round mag and just I mean it was something that if you can do that on a real goal based map instead of just going for kills. Anytime we played domination on Shipment, I would say we were
top tier,
unbeatable.
baby.
Unbeatable.
Between domination and I want to call a hot zone, but it's not hot zone. Hard point.
Yeah, hard point. Yeah. Yeah, but
we would annihilate the other team because they're just going for KD, and then we would, of course, sit in the zone like Howard's used to. He's sitting there smirking like, "You're talking." He's like the meme with the dude behind the tree, like licking his lips, like he's ready to go. He wants to play a hard point right now. He's like, "Let's fire it up."
Yes to hard point. No to Shipment. I do not have the love of Shipment that you guys do, because that is to me the most frustrating level. That's the only one where like as soon as I'm spawning in, I'm already pulling down the trigger just because.
Well, the thing about Shipment is that it's very close quarters. And if you're playing against a team that's going only for kills, they know where to be to watch for spawn kills. And yes, that is the frustrating aspect of Shipment. But the amount of times that we've just blown away another team in 2 minutes or less, and whether it be domination or hardpoint, I especially like the domination aspect because hardpoint. Well, I'd say domination, from my personal perspective, goes back to the Modern Warfare 2 days of being able to predict where the next drop zone would be, which is a game in itself. Drop zone in Modern Warfare
3.
And was it in Modern Warfare 2, Mark?
I think it was in 2 and 3, and we always played it in 3, and we were the kings of drop zone.
Oh gosh.
Especially when we had you and Howard and Smalls.
Oh yeah.
Specifically.
We
knew where all the drop zones were.
Yeah.
So the time's up. One of us would stay, usually me, would stay in the zone. The rest of you guys would run to the next zone.
Yeah.
It clicks over. We already have it captured. The chopper's running in already to drop the next box, usually on me as I'm running into the zone. And dead. And then we would literally finish the match before we could get out of my dreams and into my car. That happened once. It was witnessed by many people, and nobody was actually drinking. So that's the amazing point, that everybody was sober when it happened. Oh, Howard's thinking, were you in on this? Were you drinking?
Well, he was there every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Don't you remember?
At that time when we were playing, that was Sunday. That was the Sunday activity. We would play for a couple of hours.
Game day, yeah. I don't remember if it was on a Sunday or if it was on another game day rager that Rude Boy and I would go on.
Yeah, most of the time when I joined you, it was on a Sunday. Would be kind of what I remember
firing up Music Choice and playing it through the TV speakers, and then having the headset with the game pad, and my goodness, we were between the combination of Music Choice and our talents, we were dialed in. Gosh.
Freaking Billy Ocean, man.
Billy Ocean.
So I pulled it up. That song is 4 minutes 44 seconds. Okay. We tell the story.
Yeah, I remember.
We've been mostly clear about it. We'll tell the actual story, what happened. We're playing Drop Zone. We're MW3. We're going hard. We're going all for it. The song starts as before it's even loading. Like it's right in the countdown before the game starts to load. Mm-hmm. When you get the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get out of my dreams, get into my car. Mr. Billy Ocean starts playing. And it's loading in. You see the splash screen up there, and I think we were playing Dome.
Yep.
I think it was Dome. And all of a sudden, hey, you, get into my car. Who, me? Yeah, you. Like, all this is going on. Get out of my dreams. This is everything.
Yeah.
This would be the best cutscene for a movie, and nobody would be able to pay attention to a single moment for 4 minutes and 45 seconds at least, because there's so much happening all at once. So many different sounds. Somebody with sensory deprivation disorder of any kind, visual, auditory, both, they would be lost. Howard's going, what is happening right now? But it's just so much stuff happening. And then the song is still playing, and we won with 5,000 points to like 30.
Yeah, it was. We kicked some butt in that match. I mean, there's very few like 5-minute memories that you have in your life, and that's one of them that you can just piece together, and you have the music going on in the background, you're kicking ass in Modern Warfare, and then like the snap of a finger, the game's over, and you're like, the same song still on. No way. So, and it was with that, and then I mean, whenever you leveled up, we had the back to our Evanescence Made of Stone moment. So, it had the similar beat, so it was something that the songs we enjoyed and loved every day. It brought us into the zone for gaming. So I'd say there's few moments while I tend the net that you feel like you are dialed in, you're in the zone, and the puck feels like a beach ball. And that was one of those moments where you could do no wrong. If you died, it didn't matter. You knew where you're going next, and you know what next point was going to be for the domination. And you didn't even watch the score because you knew we were winning. And that was one of those champion game moments that they live on for a long time in my memory.
And just for those playing the home game, in case you're interested in listening to the music, maybe Billy Ocean's Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car, based on Sherman Brothers' song You're 16, just from a line from that song, for the 1988 album Tear Down These Walls. You can get that from Mr. Billy Ocean. And how about from Evanescence? Well, it's from Evanescence's self-titled album from 2011. The number one single, What You Want. The second, My Heart Is Broken. The third, Lost in Paradise. Of course, what we're talking about is Made in Stone, the name of that song that we love so dear and very much near to our hearts. Track number 2 on that album with Evanescence and featuring William B. Hunt. From it's only 3 minutes and 32 seconds, and we've almost beat teams in that length of time too on Drop Zone and Domination. Domination's harder because you have to hold the zone for a minute, and so that one very much more difficult. But with Drop Zone, as long as you get the zone, you clear it out, you get the points a lot faster.
Yeah,
and I thought I heard it. Thought I heard it in the background there.
It may or may not have been playing.
It's ingrained.
I'm gonna get copyright strike tonight, damn it.
I was going to say, and on that potential copyright strike, gentlemen,
what?
We've been talking for quite a while. That's Howard the Ref. I mean, I got to be the official timekeeper. We've already done the cheap plugs, but Kidder, we should probably wrap this show up. And
it's kind of like when we're playing the new version of Modern Warfare and Crashed comes up, and then I bring up Daughtry and the song Crash. They crash into you like a runaway train. Man to me. All right.
Speak your mind.
So a couple tidbits of news.
Like Mark cares.
Just before we go. Got to squeeze this in. We have time for it, and if not, it's going to go in next week's episode. He's just going to have to cut it and add it in. It'll look fine, like nobody will ever know. Mandy Rose is making her OnlyFans premiere here in like a couple weeks, and so I guess you can find her on the Fans of Only if you're into that. As we know, this week, WWE is no longer its own company. It has officially merged with Endeavor, who owns UFC. They have conglomerated and made a company named TKO. And I feel like every time you say that, you have to say it's in a game, but that's obviously the wrong
EA Sports
thing. And as of earlier today, Dana Warrior has already been included in the layoffs in WWE because they're laying a bunch of people off. Drew Gulak also thinks that he will potentially be released. Earlier on SmackDown, Pat McAfee ended up showing up right away. He was doing College Game Day in Colorado, just up the street from WWE in Denver earlier tonight. And or not tonight, it was yesterday. I'm thinking it's Friday, but it's not. And then if you smell what The Rock is cooking, yes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is finally back in WWE again because they can't make movies right now. So John Cena and The Rock need a paycheck. Bam! Here they are back in WWE. Apparently, The Rock is already lined up and sealed for a match with Roman Reigns at WrestleManias 39 and 40. Yes, I said WrestleManias. So the next two Manias are allegedly going to be like John Cena with The Rock, but with Roman Reigns. So there you go. Bit of news there. John Moxley won the International Championship from Orange Cassidy at All Out in Chicago. He didn't bleed for 2 matches, and then on Dynamite this past week, he bled all over the place. Also, Jade Cargill is supposedly heading to WWE. Her contract with AEW is up. She had a match for the TBS Championship on Rampage and lost to Chris Statlander. And they had a very long hugging moment, and Jade was very sad, which I interpret as it's really a done deal where she is leaving AEW and heading over to WWE. And then, of course, there's CM Punk. I got my collector's card in the mail, finally, from the debut of Collision. So there's a quick look at the front of the Collision card. Came in the hard case as well, and it should have for having to pay money for it. But there you go. The actual text on the card. So that goes back up there with the other one. And CM Punk was doing UFC commentary tonight already because he's got nothing else to do, and dropped a comment during that commentary that he may have only 2 months until he is able to go to a different promotion and appear on television again.
Which I saw The Rock on college football pregame this morning on the ESPN. It was entertaining to see him. You correctly picked the Colorado victory, so it was, yeah.
So it was a little upsetting for you as an Iowa State fan.
Well, Iowa State, they played Ohio today. So I just saw him on. I just saw him on television this morning, and I saw The Rock, and he was on ESPN Game Day, the before all the college football kicks off this morning. So I figured, I was like, hey, I know that guy.
You could smell him because he's cooking. Anyway, I suppose that's about it because Howard's like, we need to wrap this thing up. And he's shaking his head yes. So I really appreciate you joining us for this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you could right now subscribe, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up for the episode, please. Subscribe to our channel and share it too if you do feel so, because sharing is definitely caring, and we appreciate that anytime, anywhere, any day. We are also available on YouTube for the video version. Subscribe to our channel there, youtube.com/BeerBluesBS. Then there is also the audio versions available on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts. I'm sure there's a few other places that I forgot to mention, but if you have any of those audio listening services, please subscribe to us there. Even if you've subscribed to us here already, just help us grow the brand. At Beer Blues BS, everywhere and anywhere you listen to the audio podcast and the video podcast. It's much appreciated. Also, our merch store. We have two of them. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs/merch. That's the merch store on Streamlabs. You can like and get a bunch of merch from us there. You can also subscribe to the show and help us every single month. $2 a month helps feed a starving podcast host. And we'd appreciate that. Even Sterling wants to help us out. Isn't that right, Sterling?
Yeah.
He's like, what, Dad? What? Thank you, Sterling, for helping us out. I know Orion would help us out if he could. He's over here too. Looks like Sterling's having a good time though. Sorry, I should say Sterling. Getting them all fired up. Yes. And that's how you can be fired up to help us out every single week, every month. We would appreciate it because we're available anytime, anywhere, on demand on all of those places. And the store 24/7, 365, streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs, or just go to beerbluesbs.com. If you've stumbled across us, hope you give us that thumbs up, please, and thank you. Really appreciate you joining us for this and every edition of the show. So I suppose we got Rude Boy Hefe over there and Howard the Ref. Let's do some final thoughts for this episode here. Whoever wants to go
first. Thank you guys for having me on for another show. It's been delicious in terms of drinks and delightful in terms of conversation. So I'm looking forward to the next time. And till then, bottoms up.
Yes, I just want to say, I know I mentioned I don't care for Shipment as a level, but Hobby Howard has often thought about what it would be like to actually make like a 28 millimeter scale like battlefield for some of the war games I have, and to make them of like Modern Warfare levels. And the first one I always thought I would start with was Shipment, and I once counted it up, and it's like 20 some like shipping containers in that level. There's a lot. So there you go.
That's just the foreground, yeah.
Oh, I have a nice
shipping container collection for Howard and our kicking of ass in the domination spectrum in Modern Warfare.
I do have the forklifts for it already.
There
He's
you go.
saying he's forklift certified.
We're gonna have to figure out what exactly what sprays we used pre-match, so that we can put those down right next to the forklifts, because we always used our lucky sprays right before the match started, as the game was loading. As you'd see some people load in earlier playing crossplay, and me playing on PC, I'd be like get 2 in before the match officially started. So
Yep.
we'll get the stencil for that.
Smile. And poof, but you always said it looks like poop.
Yeah, poop.
So you're like, ksk, poop. Even though it was yellow.
Easy laughs.
I see Howard writing notes of what stencils he needs to get for the model.
Poop stencil.
The good thing is there's plenty of those videos available on Twitter at DJ Mark Kidder. So you can go back for reference and see when we get the Harrier and the VTOL and play the bongos and report people for cheating. Anyway, thank you for joining us for this episode. Beer Blues BS. It's been another episode. And if you've made it this far, you are a true American. And if you're not living in the U.S., you're a true insert country here. I am the man with Legend Mark Kidder. He's Howard Blues. He is Rudeboy Kyle, and we are out of here. Remember to keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down that bullet-ridden Tuscan Highway. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, week, month, whatever. Everything, all of the above is applicable. We'll see you on the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
Hello, Howard. Greetings from South Korea. I just need to let you know that you're one of my lieutenants up here. It's got to be your doppelganger from like your late 20s. Resembles you, sounds like you, has your mannerisms. Have you managed to enact such a great trolling escapade that you crossed the Pacific and made it all the way out here to do that? If you did. Kudos, but the game's on.